this has been a journey. It's been a journey to leadership, a journey of personal growth, self-reflection, and really about a whole lot more than one person. It's a little bit of a goodbye to the folks that I've served in leadership with, and a hello to the next 2 years that I am in a leadership position. I recognize that I've been given a gift. What I do with that gift is really up to me. First, the goodbyes. 6 years ago, I introduced myself to the board, as Michael said, as we were running for office. And it went a little something like this. Hello, my name is Kim LaFleur, and I'm from Massachusetts. I'm a wife, a mother, and an unapologetic lover of the Boston Red Sox. Not much has changed since then. Go Sox. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow. Not a whole lot has changed since then. Still a wife, still a mother, go Sox. But what has changed is the reflection of time. And what I know about time is that you only have so much of it, and you don't know when is your last amount of time to say your hellos, your goodbyes, your thank yous, and acknowledge the people who've helped to get you to where you are. So the first person I want to acknowledge is Linda Corse from Vermont. Linda, you got me into this mess. Like Michael said, I didn't win my first election, and Linda Corse, before I had a chance to process what happened, threw her hand up in the air and nominated me for Secretary-Treasurer. And before I really could process what was happening, the next thing I know, here I am. And Linda, you put my name forward when I was content to go home. So thank you for that, because I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for you. Jim Harold, Wade Troutman, Leonard Jordan, Dave White, Lee McDaniels. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You gave me the encouragement to put my name forward. There was talk about glass and ceilings, and quite honestly at the time, it's like, I don't want to think about that. That's not for me. I don't want to be the first. There was no personal gain for me to be the first. I am certainly not the first person qualified who's a woman in this position. I'm just the first person who was given the opportunity. And I thank all the leaders before me who put me in this position. The board of directors who continue to allow me the opportunity to serve you. My officers that I've served with. It's been a pleasure to serve under you, to serve with you, to lead along with you, and have you help me prepare for this moment. Tim Palmer. I can't see where you are. There you are. We've been on a leadership track together for 10 years. We got on the executive board together, and I haven't done an executive board meeting or an officer call without you. Next Friday morning's not going to be the same. I hope you know how much I value our friendship and how much you've meant to me as a mentor, as a leader, somebody who's not afraid to poke fun of himself. And I know that we'll always be friends, and just know that how much of a positive influence that you've had on my life. And then there's my family. Like Michael mentioned, there's a lot that our families give up to allow us to be in this position. My husband, Jeff. He is, I'm going to brag on him for a second, because he is one of the most well-respected members of the agricultural community in Massachusetts and beyond. We've been married, it'll be 24 years in May. And I can't tell you, even the years before we were married and up until now, I've always been, oh, you're Jeff's wife. Doesn't matter where I go. Actually, Jeremy knew Jeff before he knew me. And it's funny, there's been a little bit of a paradigm shift, my friend. So instead of, oh, you're Jeff's wife, guess what? welcome to the You're Kim's Husband Club. But I couldn't do this without you. Jeff has a love-hate relationship with my horses, and trust me, the feeling is mutual. They're not really fond of him. But they tolerate each other because they do this for me. He's a busy guy. I like to tell people, some buy a Corvette when they have their midlife crisis. We buy a farm. Both Jeff and I are city kids. I was raised in one city, and he was raised in a nearby city, and we both, through a connection that we had at an agricultural high school, found our love for agriculture and our passion and our voice, and now we're first-generation producers. Which brings me to my boys. I have two boys. I have Cameron, who is 20, and my trusty sidekick, Logan, here, who is 7. Now, they have traveled with me to meetings since they were little kids. I got on my local board, I think Cameron was about 4. He has farmed 1 million miles on his knees, sitting on blankets in the back of meeting rooms. Logan, you've been to New Orleans before, buddy, you just don't remember it. I was pregnant with Logan the last time we were here. 7 weeks old, I popped him on a plane with Cameron, and we went to Spokane, Washington. And he traveled with me to the annual meeting in 2016, and then he learned how to walk a week before our summer board meeting in Minneapolis. And that was the last time Logan has been invited to a meeting, because I spent most of that meeting chasing him around. But Logan has given up a lot for me to be here too. He knows how to be shushed when Mama's got a phone call. If Michael calls, oh, it's Crowder. He can read it on the dash of my car. But he sacrificed a lot for his mom. I've done committee calls at the t-ball field, baseball field, and the soccer field. And sometimes we're homeschooling right now, and sometimes those homeschool lessons get kicked aside because, oops, hang on, Mama's got a phone call, and I'll just keep him. And he knows, shh, go upstairs, or keep the dog quiet, and stop him from stealing socks. So, buddy, I know you don't remember a whole lot about coming to Conservation District meetings before now, but I hope you remember tonight. And I hope you remember that when you have a relationship, when you're a grown man, that you support your significant other the way Papa supports me. So I've been asked about what are my priorities. You know, well, Kim, you got to get up here tonight and tell everybody, what are you going to do? And you know what? The reality is that this position is bigger than one person. It's not my priorities. I just get the honor of being the spokesperson for the next 2 years. Our collective success is really dependent upon bringing new and diverse voices into our conservation family. We've been given this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with historic levels of funding. Generations before us were begging for the opportunities that wait before us. So how are we going to embrace that challenge? So I want to talk to you a little bit about opportunity. Opportunity means not just inviting somebody to the table because they think like us, because they look like us, because we can predict, or we think we can predict, how they're going to react to a situation. Opportunity means finding people who don't look, think, and act like us, and invite them to our table. So how do we create those opportunities? It's not easy. If it were easy, we would have done it long before now. But the opportunities that we were given, again, I realize I have been given a gift. We have all been given a gift because we're here. We choose to be here. We choose to give our time, not knowing or not expecting anything in return. So our family can't just be limited to those in the room and our traditional partners. We need to reach out and find those voices. Don't expect them to come find us. We need to go to them and find those voices and bring people into our family. I believe at my core that we are a family. It's been the absolute privilege of a lifetime to get to know people from all over the country. It's fun to say, well, I got a friend in that state, I got a friend in that territory. And I look forward to making new friends, renewing acquaintances that I've been able to develop over the years. That first board speech that I gave, I also included a quote from Martin Luther King, which is, "We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now." And I think that describes what we are. We're all different. Again, city girl who's been given an opportunity, the most rural of Americans, our tribal friends, the most urban folks from backgrounds that we haven't met yet. We need to make sure that that ship is accessible to them. Remember that we've been given an opportunity and we've each have been given a gift. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your commitment to conservation. I promise you that I listen and I hear you. I hear the issues. I know that representation matters. And I know that people need to see leaders who look like them. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has supported me on this journey. And I'm going to leave you tonight with this from the great philosopher, Kermit the Frog. When you decide what your big dream is, you'll be bursting with enthusiasm and you'll want to share it with everybody. Most everybody will give you one of those, okay, that's nice, pass the ketchup kind of looks. Some will scoff, suggesting whatever your big dream is, it's too big for you. A select few will whisper words of encouragement. Pass the ketchup. Ignore the scoffers. And remember those words of encouragement, because they're the only ones that matter. Friends, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. This is a privilege of a lifetime, and I can't wait for the next 2 years. Thank you.